Peace be with you, St. Paul's. Don't we just love Thomas? Although he has lived with Jesus and the other disciples and breathed the same air with them for at least a year, Thomas still wouldn't believe that Jesus had risen from the tomb, no matter what the others told him, until he felt those wounds. But honestly, it isn't hard to understand his doubting, is it? It was a pretty wild thing to have happened. In fact, we might say it was incredible. It was unbelievable that someone should rise from the dead, no matter that the risen was an extraordinary teacher, healer, holy man, and his friend. But because of Thomas's doubt, here is where Jesus remembers us in a personal invitation to believe in new life. Jesus remembers us of the future church with these words: "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have come to believe." Jesus knows that resurrection is hard to believe and to live out. Jesus offers the invitation to believe and to see differently, to see him anew. There is always a choice with Jesus, the choice to see life, renewal, and the wonder and excitement of discovery that are a part of newness and renewal. I must admit, I have been watching a lot of news these sequestered days. And more than anything else, I do see the new. Adaptation and invention and the new are rampant. In the same hospitals where emergency room staff, floor nurses, and ICU care medical staff are saving lives, babies are being born to the delight and joy of parents and greeted into the world by grandparents via Skype. Sewers and crafters across our country are designing and constructing masks for health workers, first responders, and now even for family, friends, and neighbors, as masks become a necessary part of our outdoor wardrobe. Grocery stores have expanded their delivery services so fewer of us have to be out and possibly spreading or catching the disease. And at the same time, grocery stores add much needed jobs by adding delivery staff. Food banks and churches have expanded their food distribution exponentially. People who never before have helped at a food bank are stepping up to help. I know you have heard the wonderful stories of men and women, children and groups, while still being careful to obey the rules of containment, and are being creative in all sorts of ways that make us want to stand up and cheer at their cleverness. And we are worshiping here today because Krista and Richard and Deborah and Eileen and Larry and the choir and musicians and readers and others of you I don't know about have all stretched St. Paul's creative arms so we can pray, sing, listen, laugh, and even cry a little together. Isn't all that creativity, birth, the new, a resurrection? Doesn't it make you believe in the goodness of our risen one? Only because people love one another, care for one another, are we seeing this amazing blossoming of new ways to be a world in peace and goodness to each other. People coming out of the constrictive shells and doing what they can do in new and different ways. No time in my life have I understood resurrection better. In our gospel reading this morning, we heard 3 times, "Peace be with you." The first time is when Jesus is first recognized by the disciples and he greets them. The second time is when they get over their excitement at seeing him, and it's almost like a calm down, it's just me. And then Jesus gets down to business. He commissions them to go out to be love in the world, to be teachers, to be healers, to care for his sheep. But Thomas wasn't there. So Jesus returned for a second visit. And like many of us, Thomas was skeptical of a resurrection from the dead. In fact, probably hadn't seen one before. Thomas needed to be sure that this was really his friend. And Jesus greets Thomas in a way that he had with the others. Peace be to you. The typical greeting for hello and goodbye in use at the time. Just old friends coming together. But this time the purpose was the commission to love and teach and heal, as Jesus had taught all of them during their time together. I want to witness goodness, creativity, new life in this extraordinary time. I want to see life, joy in the midst of the physical and emotional pains of coronavirus. And I do see evidence of it every time I watch or read the news. I see it every time neighbors post offers to help out, to share what they have. I see it when my son brings me groceries, so I'm not part of the frenzy that is grocery shopping these days. I see it every evening when neighbors get together online and sing a song before their children's bedtimes. And those are just a few of new life changes that have become part of new life just in my mere small condo cluster. Inside and outside of my condo cocoon, new is happening. And I am amazed at the art, theater, video, dance, canvas, graffiti, and song and instrument created in just a couple of months of Corona alert, bringing joy and laughter, gifts we all need right now, and they are new life also. Easter season 2020 is an extraordinary time that affects us all. We have the opportunity to open our hearts in ways we never could have imagined in the past. And remember, the past was only 2 months ago. This is resurrection, being willing to change, to do something new just for the simple reason we are needed. Our changed life together provides and will continue to provide us with opportunities to love and to be compassionate and just be clever and resourceful in ways we never knew ourselves capable of. What will we have learned, have created, have given of ourselves in this year? Will it reflect a personal resurrection that only each of us individually and together has the power to share? Peace to you, St. Paul's.